Aloha! My name is Cheryl King, and the title of my presentation is Every Scale Tells a Tale, the Hawaiian Hawksbill Sea Turtle Photo Identification Catalog from 1998 to present. I look forward to seeing you all in person, hopefully next year. First off, I'd like to graciously acknowledge George, Peter, and Ursula Bennett. I just happened to watch the Bennett's presentation about their West Maui Hawaiian green sea turtle photo identification work at the 1999 International Sea Turtle Symposium, right before I moved to Hawaii. It certainly changed my life. And I especially want to thank all of the wonderful people of the Aloha State and beyond who have contributed and supported this project and me along the way. If you don't know Don McLeish, his observations and friendship have been especially wonderful to the pursuit of our Hawksbill knowledge. That's his Honoea plate. Check him out at dmcleish.com. So, it all started with Akahi. Embarrassingly, this is the first Hawaiian Hawksbill photograph I ever took, with a cheap disposable camera that actually had film that I had to develop. This hawksbill was super skittish, which I wasn't expecting compared to the tame greens I'd been used to, so as you can see, the photo isn't very good. This was my first realization that I could utilize the flipper scale patterns along with the head scales for photo ID. Each sea turtle has unique arrangements and shapes of scales on their faces and flippers that don't change significantly over time. Photographing all angles of each turtle allows for the comparison of other turtles, and that's how you build a photo ID catalog. It's really fun. Please take a minute to notice the scale differences between these two individuals. Note that I give each turtle an island-specific number, and the names come from the people who sent me photographs of each individual first. You'll notice that these two hawksbills' prefrontal scales aren't fully delineated. Hawksbills usually have 4, while greens have 2 larger scales between their eyes. In this photo, the greens on the left and the hawksbills on the right. Notice the greens' 2 prefrontal scales and the hawksbills' 4 prefrontal scales right between the eyes. These are both adult females, and you'll see that Ake has a tag that reads 83-N. She was tagged post-nesting on Hawai'i Island, and we've also seen her foraging around West Maui fairly regularly since 1999. Flipper tagging has its limitations. The metal tags can be lost or may cause injury and even create entanglement hazards. The tags often get epibiont growth on them, so become really difficult to read. Even without this growth, you have to get super close to the turtle to read the tag. This can disturb the turtle, so we do not encourage this. This is Misty, who is another Hawai'i Island nester who we've also captured during our West Maui in-water research. Here's a photo of number MUI-014-1D67 Pohoi, so you can see where she was tagged on the rear flippers by the Hawai'i Island Nesting Project. One note of interest about this research, I've only witnessed mating once and haven't received any other reports yet. To my surprise, this was actually a hawksbill that we knew to forage around the West Maui area, Kenyana, mating with an unknown male. Besides nesting or mating adults, I haven't documented any individuals traveling to different islands yet. Of course, photo ID doesn't quite replace satellite tracking technology, which gathers a lot more data and can show the approximate routes animals take, like these tracks of Maui nesters to their foraging areas. If you haven't visited this site that features most of our tracked nesters, I highly recommend it. One particular South Maui nester we tracked in 2020, in collaboration with NOAA and Hawaii Wildlife Fund, left the nesting beach after her last nest and swam counterclockwise to Maui's central north shore. Ironically, her transmitter hits showed that she was offshore of Ka'ehu, where we conduct our 4th Sunday of every month marine debris cleanups. This is an area where the ocean conditions aren't generally conducive to in-water searches. So, like many hawksbills residing in these types of areas, they likely won't be counted in this in-water photo ID catalog. Therefore, the photo ID methodology has its limitations, but since there are so many habitats to search all around Hawaii, harnessing the photography skills of citizen scientists has shown to be very productive. We've already learned so much. Here's what can be gleaned with photo ID: relative distribution and abundance, size, classes, and sex ratios, residency, movements, daily and seasonal trends, social interactions, resting and cleaning areas, foraging habitats and species, threats, health, and injuries, and most importantly, their ecological role fulfillment. Green sea turtles can also benefit from their own photo ID catalogs. Their scale patterns are significantly more discernible compared to hawksbills, making matching them much easier. So please don't hesitate to contact me for ways to start your very own project. My methodologies have pretty much remained the same throughout the course of this project. Besides conducting turtle transects with my awesome turtle team, I'm always on the lookout for hawksbill clues wherever I go. Here are 2 examples of informative wanted signs that have been distributed over the years. The more people we meet, the more hawksbills we find. And then social media became all the rage, so that has opened up a whole new batch of sightings to mine. If you happen to see any hawksbills posted, please tag me so I can add them to the catalog at HI Hawksbills. And please remember, sea turtles are protected under state and federal laws, so it is illegal to harass, harm, pursue, or capture them. Please ensure that photos are taken from a responsible and respectful distance. Any efforts to photograph turtles must not disturb or alter their natural behavior. Mahalo! Welcome to the Hawaiian Hawksbill Conservation website, hihawksbills.org. I launched the site in 2016 to be the ultimate hub for Hawaiian hawksbill information, so it truly has it all. But please let me know if you have any ideas of content to add. The whole photo ID catalog is housed here. It's open to free viewing by all. And notice that I never include specific locations of any hawksbill sightings, just to protect them from any possible harm. As it states on my homepage, this educational site is dedicated to advancing the scientific understanding of the critically endangered Hawaiian hawksbill sea turtle to aid in its local and global conservation. I truly appreciate everyone's contributions to this project. And as my motto goes, every scale tells a tale. Okay, so I'm going to run through a quick explanation of how the process works to show you how easy it is for you to participate. Throughout the course of this presentation, each photograph provides an introduction to many different hawksbills, turtily living their best lives out there on the reef. They really are amazing creatures that certainly deserve our protection. Step 1. When you're lucky enough to find a hawksbill, try to take as many photos or videos from different angles, all the while being sure to not disturb it. Step 2. Take note of the date, time, location, depth, behavior, reaction to you, any injuries or concerns you may have. Step 3. Find one of the many Submit a Hawaiian Hawksbill Sighting buttons that are all over the website. Step 4. Upload your photos and videos and enter your sighting and contact information. Step 5. Give yourself a high five for helping Hawaiian hawksbills. Step 6 is up to me. I'll download your photos and videos to find a match, hopefully. It may take me a while, so please be patient. And feel free to search too. It's actually pretty fun. Step 7. I'll let you know if the turtle is already in the catalog, or if it's a new one, you could choose a name for it. Step 8. All the hawksbills can be found on my website, so that's where I'll add your name and credited photos, if it's okay with you. Step 9. As a reward, I'll send you some project stickers if it's a recite, and if it's a new individual that you got to name, you get a project t-shirt. Woohoo! And then I'll tag you on social media if applicable. And the final step 10, I hope you love your Hawaiian hawksbill conservation swag. Just know that I'm very grateful for your contribution to this project. And I hope you discover many more. I don't have nearly enough time to go over the amount of knowledge we've gained over the past 2+ decades, but if you'd like to check out the poster I just presented at the 40th International Sea Turtle Symposium, this and all other Hawaiian hawksbill publications are on hihawksbills.org. Just to cover some highlights, here's a map of the distribution of 301 hawksbill individuals by island from 1998 through 2021. Since I'm based on Maui and our awesome turtle team is also finding them, you'll notice that we have the most, 117 individuals. The neighbor islands are catching up though. Here's a summary table that showcases the different island statistics. It's a lot to cover, I know. Feel free to hit the pause button during the recording later to dive into the data. This is the discovery curve of unique individuals by island since 1998. As you'll see, major jumps occurred after I launched hihawksbills.org in 2016 and after I joined social media in 2019. The curves don't show any signs of flattening, which is really good news for hawksbills. As far as size classes go, please use caution in interpreting this, since we're generally not catching the majority of the turtles to physically measure them. So I have to estimate their sizes, which is difficult due to different perspectives and photographs. Turtles continue to grow, so I keep updating these estimates with new sightings, but this presently shows that adults only comprise about 19% of the cataloged individuals. Contrary to the recent stranding data publication that looked at 111 individuals, it's nearly a 1-to-1 male to female ratio. This shows the estimated size class distribution and flipper tagging status by island of 301 hawksbills. And just to reiterate, these results only include hawksbills that have been spotted in the water, not just nesting, but some have been tagged in both habitats. Where are all the untagged females nesting? Note that the 12 deceased hawksbills that are in the catalog don't include every dead hawksbill that has come into the NOAA stranding program for the last 25 years. Just the ones we've interacted with somehow or NOAA has let us know about. So, what are all these Hawaiian hawksbills eating? They're known to be spongivores all around the world, but here they're eating a lot more than that. Here are a few fun examples. Crown jelly, an octopus, a frogfish, and this interesting video of a hawksbill chasing an anemone crab. In case you were wondering, it did get away. Here are a couple of unidentified species, which helps to showcase how diverse their menu item choices really are. And when you find a Hawaiian hawksbill that's foraging on the reef, you'll often find the Himalaya, the saddle wrasse, following them around, capitalizing on what they're churning up. As they're foraging, they're unfortunately finding baited fishing gear, and these interactions can be deadly. Please call the NOAA Stranding Hotline if you find a turtle in trouble. 1-888-256-9840. This threat is one of the major reasons why our turtle team spends so much time cleaning our nearshore reefs from fishing gear and other harmful trash. Fishing net entanglements is another huge threat to their survival. Some are lucky enough to survive, and others sadly don't. You can get involved in our research too, so check out our websites. With so many fast-moving vessels and non-motorized thrill craft, we've also documented injuries from collisions. People sure do love sea turtles, and Hawaii is one of the best places in the world to see them in the wild, but please encourage everyone to do so respectfully. Since I submitted this abstract with 301 hawksbills through 2021, there are currently 314 hawksbills in the catalog. And I'm sure there are so many more discoveries to be made. Mahalo nui loa for your attention and interest in Hawaiian hawksbill conservation.